Hey guys, this is Dan from Let's Tank, and today we're going to be looking at my user interface on World of Warcraft. Now, I've been getting a lot of questions about it, so I thought I'd just generally answer most of the questions I've been getting, and that is pretty much what is the add-on on the left-hand side that shows the external cooldowns. Now, the actual add-on is called Weakauras. Now, what Weakauras lets you do is put icons or text on your screen. It lets you show procs, things like that, and it's a really good add-on. You can get lots of Weakaura like links from a website that I'm going to put in the description box down below. And all you do is import it into your Weakauras and then drag it onto your screen. Now, the specific one I'm using just shows like text and like all the external cooldowns and what's actually ready to use and when it's not available to use, and shows you also the countdown of like external cooldowns. You can set it to have interrupts if you wish, raid cooldowns, and you can like disable or enable each one of these in the options. And I'll put a link for this specific Weakaura in the description box down below. It'll be the top one, as this is the main question I have been getting asked, like, what is it, where do I get it from, how hard is it to set up? It's really simple, and you just click and drag basically once you've imported it onto Weakauras. Now, for the rest of my UI, I mainly use ElvUI, which has its own website and its own installer and stuff. It's really easy to set up again. Nothing's really complicated on my UI. It's all very basic and simple stuff. So for my health plate, my target health plate, and my target, that's all ElvUI, as well as my bars at the bottom under the health plate. I just have that bar there just so I can on the fly swap an ability to a different keybind if I need to. I have all my key bindings there, and that's the only reason I actually have that there. I don't really use that apart from that. Now for my chat, I think I use like I think that might be ElvUI as well actually. Yeah. Cast bars are quartz. My damage meter in the top left is called SCADA, but there's also a really good damage meter as well called Details. That's meant to be a little bit better. My map's ElvUI. My buffs and debuffs are ElvUI. Now, between my nameplates there's some abilities and cooldowns, and above my head there's also cooldowns as well, which will pop up whenever I use one of my cooldowns and show you the timer and duration of the cooldown on myself. Now, that's just Tell Me When. I use Tell Me When over Weakauras mainly because it is really, really simple to set up yourself. You basically have a box. You can make it as big as you want, as many icons in it as you want, just by right and dragging and stuff. And you can just copy everything you want by right clicking and just like doing copy here or move here. It's really easy to set up, and I really enjoy that add-on. It's probably one of my favorite. Now, my player frames is called Grid. It's the original Grid. It's not Grid 2. I don't really like Grid 2, but I use Grid, and an add-on that goes with it is called Grid Status Raid Debuffs. So it's two add-ons. You install them both separately. So it's Grid, Original Grid, and Grid Status Raid debuffs. Now, this will show you pretty much all the debuffs, our main debuffs that bosses all do. And if there's not a debuff there and you really need it, then you can just add it in yourself by just going to the grid options in the interface. So how I always position my stuff on my UI is I always keep everything below my character. So I'm always looking at my character's feet at all times to make sure I'm not standing in anything. So I have my debuffs just below my character's feet, and below that I have a cast bar, and then below that I then have the ability usage. So the top line will always be my main rotation, and the one below that will always be my defensive cooldowns. That's just so I can just quickly look down and just see, oh, I've got this available next, and I can use it basically. It's nothing really too like not common sense about this UI. Now, my externals, once my main cooldowns are all depleted, they'll all be grayed out, and then I'll start looking over to the left for externals. Now, for procs, say I'm a warrior, for example, I have a lot of Weakauras to the left. That's just because I need to know when I can Vengeance rotate easily, and it's just at the corner of my eye, so I don't really need to focus on it. I just need to be able to see like, oh, it's red, or oh, it's yellow for ignore pain, for example, so I can just know what to press next. So a few other add-ons I use will be Omen 3, which is a threat meter. A lot of people haven't been using this recently, but because of one of the affixes in Mythic Plus, I highly recommend downloading it again. Another add-on that's great is Aura 3 and Prat 3. Oh yeah, Prat 3 is the one I use for my chat actually. Download Prat 3, so really, really good add-on. I also use an add-on called Stop Resetting My Camera Please, and it's just an add-on that will always keep my camera set to max zoom out on all tunes. And then I also use Deadly Boss Mods for my boss timers, as well as a plugin for Deadly Boss Mods, which is called DBM Voice Pack space VEM, which will just sometimes do a counter on some abilities that I wish to have emphasized. And that is pretty much it for my add-ons. I also have Angry Assignments, but I've started turning it off a lot because it gets in the way when I'm video editing. There's a lot of text on the screen. I only really use it for the first few pulls on a boss fight if I need to remember something, and all Angry Assignments does is it will put text on the screen just to remind you, or like put a strat on the screen of what's coming up in the fight. So say at 30 seconds in, the dragon flies away, you'd write on the add-on 30 seconds, dragon flies away, and everyone in the raid can see it if you share it and they've all got Angry Assignments installed. And the final tool I use, and this is mainly for raiding, is called Exorcist Raid Tools, and this is just a really good like extra boss mod. And it'll put radars on your screen. I know they're getting taken out like next week, but it does stuff like that. So it does radars. It'll tell you who mispulled if you go into the options, things along those lines. I recommend that as well. Anyway, guys, that is pretty much everything on my UI. I hope this answers a few questions. It's only a pretty much on the whim video. I haven't wrote it out or anything. I've just looked at my add-ons, what I've got installed, and talked about them a little bit. I hope this helps, guys, and answers some of your questions. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more videos.